Hello and welcome to the Anime Dumpster Dive seasonal podcast, where we discuss an anime that is currently airing. Today we'll be discussing episodes 14 through 17 of The Rising of the Shield Hero. Are giant birds cool now? Let's talk about it. I'm your host and dinosaur dragon, Jake H. As always, I'm joined by my co-host and filial queen, DJ.
Hey!
Hey!
And my other co-host and slave owner, Anthony.
Hey!
Well,
That makes sense.
it could be worse. It could be worse. I could be the spear hero. Hoo-hoo.
I think I gave DJ that one pretty early in. I used up the Cardinal Heroes way too early into the season for these intros.
That's okay. If the weapon fits, if the boot fits, I don't know what I was doing there.
Yeah, so we have 4 episodes we're going to talk about today. We've kind of fallen behind. I blame the massive release of a lot of media, such as Endgame, Game of Thrones, and for me personally, Mortal Kombat 11. So we've just been kind of putting this on the back burner.
I agree. I have cried during all 3 of those things that you've listed.
Because I haven't been playing other games, because I'm playing Mortal Kombat 11.
Mostly, yeah.
Okay, so episode 14 kind of brings us back
to the past.
Yeah, it actually is. It's kind of the start of this weird, not really weird, but kind of a start of our party members getting character development, like arc. Because the first 2 episodes of these 4 episodes focus on Raftalia, and it seems like the next 2 episodes really focused on Philo.
Yes.
And indeed. I really enjoyed that, personally.
I did too. It was cool to really dive into like what makes, Raftalia kind of the way that she is, and like it was cool to see, it was cool to see like where she kind of came from, because it gave this kind of like interesting dynamic as far as like instead of just setting her up as just the slave girl. I was stoked to kind of see life before that. So
I agree.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, like she wasn't like she did have this like fire in her prior to her becoming a slave. So it's kind of cool to see that she's always had this personality. So it wasn't like Nafumi just found like a random slave and like cheered that slave up all the way. But no, she was already kind of like goal oriented.
You got her back to her old self, rather than her going through some, no reason transformation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I did see a meme about this part that I really liked, and when Raftalia's friend asks her, like, "Oh, do you love someone?" And she goes, "My dad, I guess." Someone's like, "Oh, Nafumi became her dad."
Gross. That's gross.
We'll just talk about how Nafumi has like no sexual attraction to her.
Yeah.
But then that friend died later on.
Yeah, golly.
Really
talk about
dark.
it. Talk about a roller coaster of an episode, and like I don't think that they've introduced a character that I've come to hate so fast than the landowner. I would say that or the what was the Lord's name? Do you remember what his name was?
I can't remember what his name.
I can't remember what his name was.
Killer?
Big fat mustache whip guy. Like aside from Myne, I think this show introduces characters that you really, really just scream at the heroes for retribution. Like, they do a very good job. So he was easily a shitty person. Easily.
One part I was a little upset with was that Raftalia clearly does nothing to him. And he like falls out the window.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I killed a man." I'm like, "You did not."
Yeah, she's very upset about that. I thought one part I didn't like was when the fact that her friend is dead is supposed to be like a dramatic moment, but when she left, she was like pretty much almost dead.
Yeah,
so I was like, well, I was like, well, duh, she's dead. She was half dead when you left her.
Yeah,
Why are you so surprised?
I kind of like, in contrast, though, kind of how they create kind of that false hope. I'd say that it's not necessarily like a form of dramatic irony just because we, the viewers, don't necessarily know that she's dead. But all things considered, kind of as you were just saying, they describe her as pretty much pretty much dead, as good as dead, But then they introduce, the what was the little kid's name? The boy?
Brian.
I thought he was actually going to have a real name for us for a second.
I thought he was too.
And now Fumi's like, what's her name's like, well, Brian's alive. Maybe my friend's alive.
Exactly. And they create that kind of false hope. So I can kind of see where they're coming from.
I'm like, no.
Yeah,
in developing that. Yeah, the realist in me. Yeah,
it got me. I was like,
yeah.
Will she be alive? She's in the opening.
Yeah,
she's in the opening. Oh no, she's dead.
So, but as always, the show explores kind of all different, topics for, fuel and or character development to, kind of describe or loss rather and grief to kind of fuel character development. And I think they do a very good job. It just adds an extra dynamic to Raftalia that I didn't personally think we were going to see. I thought that they were going to explore more so on the side of her losing her parents. So this was kind of cool to see.
I feel like most other like isekai shows would kind of just abandon her development for like the ending of a season and like just make her Nafumi's love interest for all of it.
Right.
All of it. But
what's isekai mean?
It's this type of genre. It's a person getting transported to another world.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understand.
And
loud and clear.
You got it? Yeah, so I thought that's what they would go with that route, but no, I was pleasantly surprised to have a couple episodes really dedicated to her backstory.
Yeah.
And so this slave owner, when they're in his castle, the person I was watching with, the first episode they get there, I'm like, oh, let me just decorate my courtyard with a giant obelisk. And then the next episode, the obelisk comes into play. And I went, oh, okay, well, I feel like an idiot now for just making fun of the design.
Yeah.
And so he summons, like, that dragon.
Joke's on you, Jake.
Yeah, he summons, like, that T-Rex dragon. And this isn't, again, the show's doing really great with having CGI that I don't mind. Because that was a completely CGI dragon, but it was, like, well done, and it kind of added to the effect.
100% agree. Couldn't agree more. I'd say that like further on into that, I think that it's the next episode that further on into that particular, fight between our heroes or at least Philo and the T-Rex, like they do a very good job in mixing in the two.
I was totally cool with T-Rex.
Yeah, same. 100%. I agree.
Yeah, and I thought again, it's a short fight between our party and the T-Rex, but I thought it was they did a great job again showing that Nifumi is aware of his surroundings because Philo, and Raftalia lure it out of the city because all those demi-humans are like outside trying to get their lord back. So they're like, oh, well, we got to get this thing away or else it's going to wreak havoc on that mob.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that probably my only gripe here is what episode is this? Like, this is in between 15 and 16, right?
This is 15.
This is 15.
No,
so
no,
pretty much right after he's escaped, the baddies.
Yeah. So it's 15. So it's pretty
16.
much.
It's 16.
Yeah.
It's like right at the start of 16.
Episode 16. Okay, this is probably like my only gripe. They didn't necessarily delve too deep into the description as to why this thing was locked away. We know that it was locked away for some particular reason. But why would a member of this church that we, don't necessarily know too much about, like I'm hoping that within these next couple of episodes, like hopefully like episode 18 or 19, we see either a Ren kind of side story. I would totally be fine with this, like him delving into like Mr. Ren detective, into the into this church. Like that's probably like my only gripe because
what do you want about it?
This how they introduce kind of like this T-Rex being locked away by these members of the church.
Was he locked away by the church? Wasn't he just locked away by a dude?
It was.
He was locked away by.
It was locked away by the Cardinal Heroes.
Right.
And so,
and one thing the Cardinal Heroes hate is T-Rexes.
Baddies,
right?
yeah.
So it makes
Totally get
total
it.
sense. All right.
Totally get it. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
So then why
I
are
was
you
just
talking about the church?
Well,
No,
the
because
dude,
the guy was a member of the church, and he was
Yeah.
able to unlock the T-Rex. Is what
yeah,
Anthony
this
was talking
one,
about.
this one dude, you know,
He used his fat man power.
his fat man power.
He knocked it
I don't
over
know.
with
I
his
think it
excessive
was-
weight.
Okay. To get back on track here, I thought he was just basically like removing a seal. Like
Yeah, that's
he
what I
wasn't
figured.
necessarily summoning anything, but kind of just like
Okay,
there's like caution tape on it, and he went no, and he ripped off the
That makes
caution
sense.
tape.
Like
That
if they're
way-
like
that makes
nobody
way
go
more
by
sense.
that obelisk and go, "Wake up, T-Rex of death."
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'm gonna do it."
He's like, I'm gonna do that.
personally, the only reason why I brought it up though is so that we can, you know, I have interest in finding more information about this church, you know, and like what necessarily we've seen that symbol or that signet like 9 times now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's in the opening. It's you know, the thing that Nafumi throws to Ren, you know, to try and check everything out. I want to know more about it. I'm interested.
Well, I feel
I'm starting to think that they're bad. They're not that nice a guy.
at the end of this episode, we actually get kind of a little like end scene of Ren and Izuki going into the church, like going into like the catacombs of the church.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool that we were I thought that was going to lead to more side stories with the other heroes.
Yeah. Yep.
But before we got to that part, we got a pretty cool Filolial fight because we run into, and Anthony, I got to give you credit here because you called it when you saw the opening, that the girl with the wings in the opening is a Filolial queen. So
Yeah.
like, good call.
Totally.
I did enjoy I enjoyed what she brought to the story a lot, as well as what she did for the world building. Because as soon as she shows up, like, she just exposition dumps, and she's OP as shit. And so the first episode she's in, I'm kind of like, like, this is a little much. Like, clearly she's going to challenge Philo to some sort of fight. And then she goes, I was raised by one of the cardinal heroes. And I'm like, now I'm really, you got me back into it. You got me back into it.
Yep.
And you
I think I.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because I'm gonna change topics here in a sec.
Oh, are you? I was gonna just. I one thing that I think that we've praised the show for is its effective world building capabilities. You know, and I like the way that it introduces certain things and doesn't necessarily hold our hand through, you know, the exposition. So I honestly love it. I think that this is an effective way of storytelling, and I think that we're going to get more characters that were involved with the Cardinal Heroes, you know, maybe perhaps prior to this. Or they knew about them, you know, something along those lines.
That would be cool, instead of them just being like, the Cardinal Heroes acted like this, but like really learning how they were through other people.
Yeah.
And
It's better to, you know, show us than just tell us.
Exactly.
The scene in particular that, like, because again, I kind of had a roller coaster with this character at first because I really loved how she one-shotted the T-Rex.
Yeah.
And then she like kind of did some exposition dump, and then she mentioned something there that just makes me again hate that kingdom of Melromark altogether even more. Is that apparently the waves happen throughout the world, not in just one single country, and she's been traveling from country to country defeating the waves by herself.
Fucking crazy.
And I'm like, that's really cool, and makes me like realize that our heroes are really underleveled. Like, because apparently they're supposed to be traveling country to country as well.
Yeah, and Melromark's a bunch of dicks. Also,
that also kind of brings up the question too: who's in charge of summoning the heroes? You know.
Well, it seems like maybe the churches are, or like some sort of correlation of all the country leaders, because it's a kind of a throwaway line, or at least I thought it was a throwaway line, was in the first episode when they summon the heroes, there's like a bystander who goes, all 4 heroes were summoned here. And I'm like, that's a weird way to say that, but yeah, like, why wouldn't all 4 heroes be summoned at once? But so
it's
I
like,
guess,
what about my home country?
Yeah, it's like, what about the country I live in? The hero should be summoned there.
What about my children's homes?
So I think
That makes sense now.
Melromark kind of jumped the gun and summoned all 4 heroes themselves. Instead of doing like the ritual one time, they did it like 4 times, I'm guessing.
That makes sense.
Less XP for all those heroes too.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, though. It's kind of explained to us early on that the closer that the heroes stay together, the weaker that they are. So, like it just doesn't. I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
Well,
Yeah, true.
I guess that's a good. I hadn't thought of that. Like, it makes sense that they should be working in other countries and gaining all the XP in that one country.
Plus all the party members in that country too.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melromark fucked the world because they were
Oh,
selfish.
sure.
That king's not looking like such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I had your back, king.
And something I want to praise with these 4 episodes is that we've gotten a break from Myne, and it's a much needed break
I agree.
because it's more than just like I'm doing evil shit for evil reasons. Instead, it's here's another bad guy, here's world building. So I'm liking the break.
Yeah. I think that sometimes conflict, when it's recycled so often, can be very draining sometimes and very tiresome. And I absolutely loved, kind of this. I wouldn't say it's a conflict necessarily, but definitely another challenge for Nifumi to kind of overcome. In kind of winning praise from the from the queen.
You had it right. The
I think Mine's starting to get like forced as a villain for me too. I'm like, come on. At which point is someone gonna go, this bitch is lying? Like eventually, like it gets less and less believable that these guys are believing her. You know, after the other princess is like, she's a crazy bitch, and they're like, you must be mind controlled. It's like, no. Like, Jesus.
See, that's something that we brought up. I want to say
less believable.
I want to say that we talked about this in the previous episode of how, and I know for a fact I was the one that brought it up because I still have kind of the same kind of feelings towards this. It's like when you have a character that is so brainwashed by a particular organization, is that specific character in the wrong because of the actions that they've done? Let's say for instance that the church gets introduced to be the super big baddie, and Myne is just she's just a pawn, of the church. Like, personally, that just feels weak to me, and that's something that over the course of this episode has kind of been building in the back of my head. Like, I would hate for that to happen, just because I hate her. I hate her so much.
You're talking about Nazis, ain't you?
I know. I was gonna say I don't think she's brainwashed, Anthony, as more as a devout follower,
right?
If anything. So I think maybe she's just like evil in that sense. It'd be kind of just weird for her to be like, I'm a bitch because I don't like the color green. And you're just like,
Jesus told me.
That's what her motivation was.
It's like, I think the biggest reason why that kind of scares me, though, is that it leaves open this huge opportunity for this turnkey type of moment. Like, out of nowhere, Myne realizes that, oh my god, the church was crazy the whole time, and I'm a good person now. Like, no, go fuck yourself.
You gotta do it right.
She can't have it right.
Like go fuck yourself. You lit an entire forest on fire and then blamed it on Nifumi. Okay, countless different things.
You gotta do the Vegeta right. Vegeta ain't good right away.
He isn't good right away. He's still an asshole.
He's an asshole for a long time.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, he's not an asshole until the end of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
During the Frieza saga, he's like, I'm going to help you defeat Frieza. Why? Because I want to be immortal and kill everyone. That's why. Not him.
Even all the way into Buu Saga. Still, there's
he's
different
like, you
things.
make me more powerful? And he's like, sure. And he's like, I just got to kill all these innocent people? He's like, yeah. And you're like, done it before, I'll do it again.
I'm a little bit rusty, but I think I can do it.
See, and that's something that good showrunners will not do.
Yeah,
they will not introduce a character. Exactly. It would be one thing if over the course of the story they bring up a character that Myne is close to that's feeding her all of this different information. For us to pinpoint and say, hey, that's actually the fucking bad guy. So
you've got other examples like first bad guy, the Vegeta in Yu Yu Hakusho, who's literally Vegeta, he
Kuwabara.
doesn't start out at that much of a bad guy. That much of a bad guy.
Mm.
Yeah, he's the antagonist for sure, but he's not like a very legit bad guy. Just like Zuko in Avatar, he's not really a bad guy. So when he switches sides, you're like, okay, that makes sense, you know. Whereas this bitch, she's pretty not nice.
Yeah.
She's not a very nice chick. And if especially if Naofumi's like, all right, you're on my team now. But what about the time where she convinced everyone that you assaulted her, and then everyone kicked you out of the city, and then you had no friends for the whole series? What about that? No, she's cool now. Like I wouldn't be all right with that.
Same. Yeah. But enough about this bitch princess. Let's continue talking about this bird queen.
Oh.
And really
That's
quick,
kind of cool, in my opinion.
when she says that she was raised by Hero, did you guys assume Shield Hero, or did you think it was another hero?
I wanted somebody else.
Same.
Hero.
I was
did.
like, Sword Hero, Spear.
Yep.
Bow Hero would be cool. He's like riding on bird horseback.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Ooh.
Yes, it would be birdback. Bird Bob.
But I figure with her flashback that we had, the hero that raised her is wearing all green, so I assume he's the Shield Hero.
Yeah.
What if in that time the Bow Hero was the green one?
Who knows?
Who knows?
They kind of they leave it open when she says that she.
I
doesn't
do
remember.
like that. I do like that. Yeah.
Oh, she also. Oh my! Like again, I get so hyped with anything with the shield. When she upgraded Nafumi's shield, so he unlocked the whole Filial tree. I was like, yes,
oh yeah,
new shields.
That was cool. That was cool too.
And they don't show it right away, which is cool. It gives us something to look forward to.
Yeah, and then she also upgrades his armor too.
Yeah,
that was at the end of the episode. So that was really cool. I think that we skipped. I think there's one bigger thing that we'd skipped over too, right?
Yes, we skipped over the Philo and Queen fight.
Yep.
Not a fan.
I thought it was very, very shonen anime.
Yeah,
I'm gonna win for my friends, and then they win by losing. And I'm
yeah.
Very shonen anime. I knew what was happening the whole time. I'm like, she's just testing her, like, and then because I knew, it felt like it went on for way too long.
Yeah,
because I know what the ending is going to be the whole time. I'm like, all right, just be like, you did it, you proved yourself, and let's get on with this shit.
I will say though that I thought it was really cool when the Filial Queen goes, well, if you heroes can't get along, I'm going to kill all four of you so we can summon 4 heroes who will get along. I went, that's. Modern problems require modern solutions, I guess.
That's true. I did like the part after the test where she's like, Naofumi tries to like be like a bragger. He's like, couldn't you tell she was testing you, Velo? And she's like, except for it was a serious test, and if you failed, you would have died, and Naofumi also would have died. And you're like, oh shit. She's don't act like you know shit, Naofumi. You don't know shit, man.
And so then she crowns Philo her successor, like Philo will become the new Filial Queen, and Philo gains a cowlick or a hogue, a hoagie or whatever it's called, which is like every hero in like anime has one, like Edward Elric, Saber, they have them. Musubi has them, and I love that it's actually a source of power. She like rips it off and it grows back. And I also love when a character is aware of a redesign and she hates it. She's like, no. And he scans it and it does hold actual upgrades. Like it raises all her base stats. So with the fact that she's stuck at level 40 right now until they can upgrade her, it's really good for them.
I love how they've been adding little things onto the characters like the whole time.
Yeah,
like she gets the little brooch, and then he gets the little jewel, and they just keep adding more and more stuff to him.
Yeah,
you like it? Cosplayers hate it.
That's true. I mean, because that would be how it would be, though, right? Like that's totally how it would be.
Yeah, like so it's like you're questing, you're upgrading your gear.
It's a truthy truth for some, you know.
And then the final part of these 4 episodes. Did you guys watch the after credits scene?
What?
I did not.
You guys didn't watch the after credits scene?
I did not watch the after credit scene.
I didn't even know they had after credit scenes.
They
this
don't.
Isn't Marvel.
They don't. This episode had one, and so let me blow your guys' minds here. So it starts with Ren and Itsuki and their parties outside this cave, and they are holding up a map, and they go, "This is it." And they walk up, and there's this tomb. Like, they walk up these stairs, and there's this tomb inside the cave, and they go, "Yeah, this is the cardinal here. Like, this is where the cardinal weapons." And he goes, "Yes." And so Ren and Itsuki walk up to it, and they push open this tomb, and inside it is nothing. And Ren's pissed. He goes, "What? It's supposed to be here." Itsuki goes, "That's weird." And Itsuki looks up, and they're kind of like there's a skylight in this cave that they're in. And Itsuki goes, "Wait!" And then it explodes.
What?
Uh-oh.
and
it was all
like the whole mountain
Oh
explodes.
shit!
It was all an elaborate ruse.
With Ren and Itsuki inside.
Well, good. Maybe he could summon 3 new shield heroes that he gets along with now that they're dead.
You can only.
You just got to kill the spear hero, and then there you go.
You can only summon new heroes after all 4 of them are dead.
Oh damn! Too bad.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sure it's a fake out because there's no way you're going to kill.
Yeah, that's
2
a fake.
of them.
That's an F.
But,
that's an F out right there.
But I'm more concerned for their parties.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if Ren and Itsuki are going to become like early Nafumi and have no party members and have to work their way up.
Again,
if I could remember who their party members would be, I would be very sad to see them die.
Well, not sad, but I'm pretty sure they might be dead.
Wow. All I know is the redheaded one is all. Isn't there one that with like short hair? It looks kind of like what's her name from that one show?
Itsuki had a bunch of mages, and then the night guy, right?
Yeah, and then there's that like kung fu girl.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't one of them wear like a big mage hat, like that one girl from that one show?
No, from Megumin. No, that one's on Mariasu's team.
Yeah,
Spear Hero.
Madasyahu.
Yeah, but yeah, so there was there's an end credits where they explode.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I have to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
So I'm
fucking tricking me. How did you know?
I always watch through so that way if someone watches on my Crunchyroll, the episode restarts.
Oh, that makes sense.
I do that too.
No, you don't.
He watches the dub, so it doesn't affect me all that much.
Every time I do. How do I even change it from the dub to the sub? I don't even know.
You move it to the right.
Pretty easy.
Last time it was on the sub instead of the dub, so I just watched the sub. And today it was on the dub, and I was like, "Oh, it's in English again."
You're like, "Oh, it just stopped." Okay. All right.
Life is an enigma to me.
All right, Anthony, want to wrap it up?
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, DJ, do you want to wrap it up tonight?
I can. I am very good at it.
No, that's okay.
No, let him.
All right. Shield Hero Shielder. Where can you find him? In the world of the Hero Shielder. Where can you find us? Well, most days you can find us on the beach because we love beaches and pina coladas, and we're just some relaxed, normal guys, right? So that's most places where you can find us. But if we're not on the beach, sometimes we'll be up on the slopes hitting that narpow, you know what I mean? We're just a bunch of crazy radical dudes and that love anime. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye, guys. How was that one?
No. I'm sorry.
How was that one?
I don't even know how to segue back.
Did I redeem it?
Serious. No, you just threw a whole wrench in it. Damn it. I'm never letting you do it again.
Oh, man.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are following along with the Shield Hero. I know that I hope you can tell from our reviews, we absolutely love this show. I want you guys to leave a comment down in the section below to let us know what you think Myne's next move is going to be.
I would say more tolerate than love.
I love this show. I think it's great.
Like it. I think it's going to be one of my favorites.
Seriously.
No, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Also, don't forget to peek out the oh my god, the artist who did our new banner and profile picture, Crafty, down on at Instagram. Oh my god,
Right on.
DJ
Also-
said stuff so weird
Also,
that
Serious.
my mind is
speeches
broken.
just like us.
Seriously. Check out Crafty down in the description below. Her Instagram is posted there. Also, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a Shield Hero review. We also do a monthly podcast called our Anime Dumpster Dive, self-titled podcast. We go over real shitty animes. If you could leave a comment down below letting us know which shitty anime we should watch next, we'll go ahead and take your recommendation and do it. As always,
Shield Hero, dare I say, better than... What's the name of the anime we just watched?
Doriku.
Doriku, dare I say, better than Doriku? Dare I? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's better. It's way better.
All right, thanks again for
What about-
listening.
Peace out, babies and babies.
Shred the